All right. Let's see. I'm still having streaming issues. Gotta have some fun. Unresponded. What else do we do? I appreciate your response to my comment, reacting to your comment about me reacting to Asmongold's comments about a reaction on. How about a reaction? Oh, Mongoloids. Is that Asmongold? Oh, wait, I gotta reply. We got like 400. How many? Wait, how many? I should literally just post Asmon videos. It's like the most retarded, easy, dumbass way. 497. Ah. Let's turn the Twitch stream on. With the engine running. No, oh my, I fucking hate Google. I actually, like, this is the, what kind of retard? What kind of retard puts the log out button right beside the Switch account button? What unbelievably fucking retarded human being does that? Right? Right? Maybe? Let's take a screenshot. That whoever designed this needs to have their pension revoked. At YouTube creators. It's a boomer joke too, get it? Because there's no pensions. Nobody has pensions nowadays. Can we just take this moment? Okay, I gotta point this out. 1 second. Let's turn the whole fucking house. I gotta point this out. Okay, dumb fucking people who say dumb fucking things. And when the thing doesn't make sense as a whole, all right, and they respond, "Are you too fucking stupid? Can you not track what I'm saying?" You guys just need to go hang yourselves. You need to go like bite the end of a shotgun somewhere, right? If you say something so fucking dumb, if you say something that cannot be tracked from A to B, and you've jumped from fucking hoop to 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 figure out what the fuck you're trying to, or to figure out whatever you're trying to say, which is what your people are trying to do, like, your idea doesn't make sense, and you don't get to say it makes sense. I don't know how else to fucking say this. It's wild. I can be like, oh, the world is flat because back in my day, the sun and the moon went around the earth faster. And you're like, how the fuck does that make any sense? And they go, well, didn't you just hear what I said? Didn't you just hear what I said? Like anyways, Asmongold's weird community does this a lot, which I just gotta, we gotta do more Asmon reacts, do more fun stuff. Where it's like, nothing connects, nothing makes sense. Okay. And when asked or when pointed out, like, I don't see how this makes sense, they're like, well, no, it does make sense. How does it make sense? Well, it makes sense. Like, you can take a look at some of these comments. These are hilarious. They're super cute. They're super cute. Maybe we just farm more Asmongold clips. We should just do that. Farm them. What more comments do we got? Nothing. Like, what are these comments are okay. I gotta figure out a way to like format this, and we could like make a video where we bait Asmongold viewers who are actually retarded, and we like do the response thing where it's like, here's the dumb fucking comment. Wow, you contributed so much to the conversation. As you leech off somebody more successful than you'll ever be. You mean the guy that basically got famous by reacting to other people's content? Right? Like like his I'm having a hard time even putting my words together here. Like, the largest amount of growth that Asmongold has seen has been through his reaction channels. All right? And the video that we pointed out here, he doesn't say anything. He says, back in the old days, there were pretty women that worked at GameStop. First off, that's a fucking lie. It's an absolute fucking lie. Maybe like 1 or 2 GameStops had pretty women that worked at them. That's fine, but like, that's an outright lie. I've been to, I don't know, I want to say hundreds, tens of GameStops in my life. I've been to many EB Games. I've been to many of these game stores. 1 in 100 of them had an attractive person working there. 1 in 100 had an attractive person working there. That is like, this is like, you should stop streaming. It doesn't seem to work out for you. Thanks. Why? What is not working out? What is not working out? I went to dozens of GameStops of girls. You wouldn't just come on the internet and lie, would you? I don't understand the meaning of the word lie. You mean when somebody says that something existed in the past and it didn't actually exist? You say that there were pretty women all over GameStop. The hobby that was known to have fat fucking losers. That wasn't popular, wasn't mainstream until maybe 2010. You're telling me that back in the day, the hobby that was known to have smelly, greasy fucking weirdos, that hobby had hot women working at GameStop on the regular. You guys are actually retarded. You say he's lying. There's a woman. There were. One sec. But they aren't attracted. What? Some were. You're all over the place, man. You're saying he's lying. There isn't any women then. So this. Dude, what are you. The grammar. You say he is lying. Say there isn't any women. Then say there was women, but they aren't attractive, but some were. You're all over the place, man. I didn't even need to make an argument. You are doing that yourself, lol. He is lying, yes, about saying that attractive women were a commonplace working at GameStop. He's actually 100% lying, right? And say there isn't any women. Okay, there was really not any women in the space ever pre-2010. This was just not a thing, all right? Occasionally, here and there, you might have a woman that worked there, and it was somewhat helpful. Okay, that's totally fine. She played video games. There's a few of them, but that was like 1 in 100, okay? So there's not women. This is like sub 60 IQ responses. There's nothing all over the place about... There's actually nothing all over the place about saying, well, there was women, but they weren't really the attractive ones because this hobby was not a hobby for attractive women. It wasn't even a hobby for women. It just wasn't. Like, and this counters to the narrative that that Asmongold talks about, which is gaming being a space for men. It's always been a space for men. And over the past 10 years, it's become much more of a mainstream space. But like, how... Yes, there was, lol. Okay. I have a feeling that literally everybody responding is under 20. I actually have a feeling that everybody responding this is under 20. We got a Spidey Man. A Spidey Man channel. Okay. Actually, we can take a look at a few of these channels. Time Lord Brango. Richard. More about this channel. That's it. Oh, he might be a little older. Who is this dude? Dank Dude. Let's hear his voice. It's a video with no audio. Oh. Let me hear your voice. Yeah, so like here's the thing. If it's anybody that's my age or older, it's like a mentally ill person because adults, very few adults that are fully stable. Yeah, this is like a child. These are like children. Unknown user. This is crazy. Trying to see. I would like to know. Stalin is the Valg. What the fuck is with these channels? Let's have some fun. Let's go bait some more of these fucking retards. Let's bait some more actual fucking retards. I'm noticing this too across the board. People who streamers who have big audiences, the audiences that stand out the most, that do these types of things, or like comment on their channels, they're actually the most retarded. Like mentally ill individuals become commonplace in the comments of these videos. It's what, like, we'll see how many views this video gets, and if it gets like a few thousand, I might do like a fun little follow-up video where I actually put together some proper cohesive thoughts arguing against whatever this is. But okay, let's have some fun. Let's take a look. Asmongold. What the fuck is this?
Anti-Semite.
All right, we're gonna have some fun, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Asmongold fans. I'm noticing that you guys are like actual cockroaches. Anywhere there's just a little bit of darkness, you guys tend to like. What's the word for it? I'm retarded. You guys tend to amass, okay? And when there's a little tiny bit of Asmongold food on the ground, you'll scurry over and. As somebody, I used to like Asmongold quite a bit. For more of his gaming community and gaming stuff and whatnot like that. But like he's gotten to the point where he's retarded. Okay, I don't know how else to say it. All right, Asmongold community, you guys, I don't know how you can't see how retarded he is. Now, I'm not the most articulate motherfucker around, but when you build a house of retardation and you have retard walls, okay, you cannot say the house is not retarded. That's my in-depth analysis at the moment. Because what happens is Asmongold doesn't actually track any individual point that he makes. He makes a whole bunch of points that don't actually add up to a cohesive worldview. And then what he does, or what his community does, is they take all those points that don't actually attach to each other and they say they attach to each other. They say they make sense. They don't actually propose any attachment between point A and point B and point C. And like there's none of that. It's simply things like, well, we just had a recent video go up that's like I'm trying to summarize it. It has to do with the Best Buy and GameStop woman. But he's like, wow. Point one is that women don't have to work at GameStop anymore. Okay. Well, there's another. Well, all right. Yeah. Point one: women don't have to work at GameStop anymore. How is that bad? Point two: they're making OnlyFans content online. I don't know how that's better. I don't know how it's worse than GameStop. I have no idea how it's worse than GameStop, other than for individual young men who've never been in relationships, or men who are kind of fucked up in the head to like say that women are all for them, for like that's the purpose of these women, is to like live lives so that they can be the perfect wives. To, like, okay, we're smuggling that in. Okay, so I don't know how that's better than GameStop. Also, three, gotta keep in mind too, he's a streamer. He's a guy who spends all day in front of the camera just talking about random shit. So women are not like first off, we have this weird thing where it's like he's allowed to sit in front of a camera all day and just talk shit about people. But other people, like women, are not allowed to. They should be standing in front of GameStop counters, selling physical copies of games that like nobody buys anymore. That's totally something that we should do. And then also too, that somehow it's bad. There's like a badness to it, and the badness is that they're not Christian women, and I don't know who the fuck he is. Like none of this makes sense. None of this attaches from A to B. It's Asmongold's worldview at this point is literally just say the most inflammatory possible thing to get as many views as possible, because he's got this amassing group of fans that don't know the difference between entertainment and news. They don't know the difference between emotions and philosophy, for example. They don't know the difference between their own thoughts and reality, because their own thoughts are reality. Because the man who sits in front of the computer all day and just spouts garbage shit, the first thing that he sees is we're gonna be very critical. We're gonna be very, very critical of Asmongold over the next little tiny bit. Get a whole bunch of clips. Welcome in. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little stuttery. That's the person that I am. I cut my sentences off early. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. I'm not as handsome as that. I'm more handsome than Asmongold. I probably got laid a lot more than Asmongold in my life. So you know, Ultra Chad here. You know, you can see that chin. It's beautiful. Anyways, we're gonna run through some Asmongold. I'm gonna hopefully de-radicalize a few people. If not, I'll piss off a few people, because the online space is just, it's full of people that don't care if their ideas about the world make sense. What they do is they find a specific argument and they make the argument make sense based off of all the little stories that they have. Anyway, we'll play through this. Fuck, let's do this.
What is this here?
I would now like to welcome to the stage Leora Rez, founder and executive director of Stop Anti-Semitism, a watchdog organization that publicly exposes anti-Semitic behavior, creating consequences for those who espouse bigotry toward the Jewish people.
I can guarantee you that this will be counterproductive. I can
How?
promise you this
Okay,
will be
so
counterproductive.
yeah. First, we're priming. Like I'm fine with priming videos. That's totally fine. But how? I know I'm cutting them off early. What counterproductive stuff, right? Like, is he claiming here? And he's probably not going to substantiate it. He's probably not going to go through and say why. But we'll figure it out.
Productive. I'm going to explain why.
Yeah, let's hear why.
Because in America, we have freedom of speech.
What does that have to do with anything? Because in America, we have freedom of speech, and the rest of the world doesn't exist, and there's only America. Even though this is the embassy of Israel, this is the and because Israel is connected to the United States, it's a stupid voice, but like really, it's really fucking dumb. What does it? This like American centrism bullshit that he's going down, like American exceptionalism. Sorry, American centrism. American exceptionalism as this. Okay, Mr. America.
As a foreign country want to come into our country and create a governing apparatus that is external from the government, external from any sort of democratically elected group, and then
you're saying that in America the government needs to be involved with every single interaction that its citizens have with other countries? Is that what we're stating? We're stating that Americans have freedom of speech, and the freedom of speech says that they cannot interact with foreign bodies based off of their own ideas. We're going on a weird path. I know right now the Asmongold means, no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying something. No, this is like, again, we're taking all the points initially and we're asking ourselves whether or not these are like a cohesive worldview, something that you can track and follow and move from one place to another. Mr. Asmongold, you cannot have freedom of speech while also filtering out organizations from outside your country. You just can't do that. That's not, they just don't fit. That's just not freedom of speech at that point.
Decide that you want to invent consequences and then enforce them on people for saying words that you disagree with.
So it's up to the government to decide what social impact and what organizational impact or what organizations have in terms of impact within society?
Especially whenever you have the flag of a foreign nation.
A foreign nation representing itself, overtly representing itself, staking a position, and then attempting to apply that position across the world. So what we're doing is we're saying the United States can have control over all this information. The United States can filter this information. The United States is the world police. They're the one that decide if other countries are mad at the United States. That's what the United States does. or sorry, that's when the United States has the authority there to be able to go, well, your morals don't count, but somehow the United States morals count, like within the United States. But then we have freedom of speech or freedom of press and freedom. So Americans cannot choose to side or to advocate for external entities. I'm trying hard to like not stutter so much because I get so fucking pissed off at this. It's ridiculous.
Behind you. I hate this. And the reason why is that the implication that American Jews have any sort of obligation or connection or relation
they're allowed.
or
Free speech.
loyalty
Free
to
speech.
Israel. What
Free
the
speech.
fuck are we
Free fucking speech, buddy.
talking about? Like, it's so ridiculous. And
Asmongold is so un-American. It's unbelievable.
it does damage to them.
No, they are advocating for a position that they would like, okay? And they're openly advocating for it with the symbol of their nation, with the symbol of their religion. They're openly advocating for it. And you are saying the government probably needs to come and filter these motherfuckers.
Isn't this insane? Younger generations are going to follow and ask why one
Pick your nose while doing
group
it.
gets special treatment. Yeah, they are.
Well, no. And yes, at the same time, all groups in the United States, okay, are the same. Technically, they're all the same. But they do get special treatment from private organizations. Okay, from private groups. That's why the United States succeeded. It's because you can have your own private groups. You can have your own private organizations. But apparently, according to Asmongold, it's not allowed. Now, Americans may come in and go like, well, this is about free speech for Americans and not for other people. It's like, well, then Americans can listen to whatever the fuck they want. They get to listen to whatever the fuck media they want. They get to advocate for whatever the hell they want. If an American Jew decides that they want to advocate for Israel's stance here, and they want to listen to Israel's stance, they should be able to. And then we flip it on their head and we go, well, what if we want to stop this? What if we want to get in the middle of this? How do we stop this? It's like, well, you can't stop it without becoming authoritarian. You can't then go into media and start picking apart exactly what's being said and placed where. Like, the alternative, this is the thing, you can't you can't propose freedom of speech without protections for those that are speaking. You can't do that. And if your advocation against some form of bad freedom of speech is to undermine the freedom of speech itself, you probably shouldn't be in the political sphere. Simple
And
as that.
you know where they're asking that on? Instagram Reels.
Like they're allowed to, like the freedom of speech we talk about with with media companies, of course, allowing anybody to post anywhere like we want. We don't want to shut people down. We don't want to deplatform people. So what you're saying is that people now, oh no, it's Instagram. It's spooky Instagram.
Uh-oh.
This makes no
Laura?
sense. It literally makes no sense. And not in the sense, I gotta point this out for Asmongold watchers, it's not that it doesn't make sense in the way that you can put words together that make some sort of cohesive idea. It's the idea, the fact is that those ideas are not cohesive in the first place. You cannot have freedom of speech. You just cannot have freedom of speech and also advocate for the silencing or or imply that certain organizations should be silenced. It just doesn't work that way.
Uh-huh.
Tonight, I speak not just about a problem, but an actual fight. A fight that the Jewish community did not choose, but one that we are now fully engaged in, confronting the global explosion of Jew hatred, unleashed since the attacks of 10/7. Stop Anti-Semitism was built for this. For years, we exposed hate, pressured institutions, and delivered consequences.
The reason why they will fail is because they view criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism. They don't.
Because Israel itself, okay, the majority of criticism towards Israel is anti-Semitism. The issue with Israel being in the Middle East is that it is a Jewish nation. Now, again, I'm not really for these kind of nationalistic religious nations. I'm not for that. I'm totally against that. But for Asmongold to come out and say, this has nothing to do with it, like, that is literally the problem. That is literally the problem with Israel, is that there are Jews in the Middle East, and everybody else in the Middle East doesn't want Jews in the Middle East, okay? Of course, you may say not all anti-Israel criticism is is anti-Semitic. That's totally fine. I have criticism of Israel that have nothing to do with the Jewishness of the country. Like, that's pretty obvious. But to state that anti-Israeli sentiment is not anti-Semitic is it is just wrong. It's like, it's historically incorrect. It's incorrect even for now, for real. Like, again, if my birds, I'm so annoying. Can you shut up? I don't know why it's going on right now. If if the only issue is that there's Jews in the desert, and then the issue is how are the Jews acting in the desert, then the core issue is the Jews in the desert. It has nothing to do with how the Jews are acting. Now, of course, how the Jews are acting, there are other critiques that are on top of that, but that's not the core issue, and the separation of the two is actually just like ignorant of any types of history, any type of, literally any type of history. That's what I'm pointing out. It's not just ignorant to the history based off of how the Israelis say it turned out, or ignorant to the way that the local local nations around it say that it kind of played out. Every single variation of the Israel story is about Jews in the Middle East. Every single one.
Don't really care about anti-Semitism. They care about advancing the goals of Israel. And if that means slandering American Jewish people by conflating anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism in a cynical way in order to suppress criticism of their nation, they will do that.
Let's listen to that again.
And
let's listen to that again.
For this, for years we exposed hate.
Criticism of Israel is anti-Semitism.
So, wait.
Criticism of Israel is the reason why they will fail is because they view criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism.
Not they view Israel or criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism, is that the majority of criticism towards Israel is anti-Semitic. Unless you are a American and you sit in your house all day and you watch just shitty tweets up and down about how Israel is acting, and you've been adopted by this anti-Semitic group to bring in other ideas about why you don't like these people, and you've co-adopted their problem with Israel as your own problem with Israel, which is of course the whole Jewish cabal thing that he's implying in some kind of way. No, you just don't get to. So my head right now is I'm tired, but like you just don't get to do that. like I understand. I'd be totally fine with her bringing up issues. Oh my fucking god, birds! I swear to God, I'm gonna actually turn both of you into fucking chickens. Anyways,
they don't really care about anti-Semitism.
They don't care about anti-Semitism. The Jewish nation that was created after World War II to get away from genocidal other nations doesn't care about anti-Semitism. Like, are we even listening to what Asmongold's saying right now?
Care about advancing the goals of Israel.
Care about advancing the goals of Israel, a Jewish nation.
And if that means, slandering American Jewish people by conflating anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism in a cynical way in order to suppress criticism of their nation, they will do that.
Okay, so what did she just say? Or did Asmongold just go on a fucking rant that said what they're doing without any substantiation, without any connection between what she just said and what he just said, right? Like, this is like me coming in and going, Asmongold, he actually conflates white genocide all right, with high Walmart prices. And the reason why he's doing that, okay, is because he's in denial, all right? He's in denial that high grocery prices are actually caused by immigrants coming in. And maybe he accepts this in some kind of way, all right? But it's clear this analogy is just not working. No, it's not working at all right now, because it literally doesn't make. I don't know how to demonstrate that we have jumped from A to C without a B in between. This lady has just come up, says Israel doesn't like anti-Semitism. It doesn't like the increased anti-Jewish, sentiment across multiple nations. And then he's brought in this whole other problem, this whole other issue that really has nothing to do with the initial statements, right? Like, it's an injection of new ideas into this very clear and overt press release.
That's the big reason why they'll fail. It's because they're not trying to stop anti-Semitism. They're trying to create sentiment for Israel.
I don't even know that's how they would fail. What the fuck? Given that this is all true, that they don't care about anti-Semitism, what does this have to do with this press release? Actually nothing.
That's it.
But after 10/7, the scale of threat and the urgency of our mission changed dramatically overnight.
Because we're all being conflated together with Israel? Well, bro, we know that. All of the normal people know what's going on.
Oh, all the normal people. Here's another statement. We can just, this is crazy. Statement after statement, literally no connection to anything at all. Not a single thing that she has said he has directly addressed. It's all just, oh, they're hiding. They're hiding. Asmongold is hiding the. This analogy is not working because it doesn't. There's no connection. I don't know how in my brain anything that he said has anything to do with she said. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself here.
Like, nobody who's normal thinks that you're somehow at fault because of something dumb Israel did. The only people that think that are terminally online retards with furry avatars. The only problem is that there's a lot of them.
Since that day, we have featured more than 1,000 anti-Semites on our platforms. 1,000. Not theorized about them, not quietly documented them, feature them publicly, clearly, and with evidence.
Okay, so she's pointing out that they've tracked and they found people that are anti-Semites, that they claim are anti-Semites. So this nation has hopefully the free right to be able to say whatever the fuck it wants. Again, because free speech, right, Mr. America? But of course, America doesn't matter to everybody. Like, the rest of the world doesn't fucking matter. So for some reason, there's a negotiation there where America gets to decide that every American has free speech, but every other country doesn't have free speech. That's fine.
The results speak for themselves.
The evidence, by the way, is like maliciously edited clips and things like that.
Maliciously edited clips and things like that. Thank you so much for your in-depth analysis, Mr. Asmongold. I'm so glad that when she said she brought up the list of 1,000 people on the anti-Semite list, that it is clips and things like that. Let's take a look. What's it? Anti-Semite list. The ADL top 100. Okay, let's see. Who is the clips and things like that? Let's go take a look. Where's the list? Advocating, blah, 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 blah. Anti-Semite. Can I not look it up? There we go. Americas. Is it just not going to work? The irony there. Can I get the list of people at all? Are you going to give me the list? What is she talking about? Embassy of Israel Embassy of Israel. What is this? One sec. People are gonna quote or bring up the fact that this is hard to find to make to make a point. But again, I don't. There's no connection here. We're still gonna have to find this fucking list. Though.
Quietly documented them, feature them publicly, clearly, and with evidence. The results speak for themselves.
The evidence, by the way, is like a maliciously edited clip.
I don't think that. Where is this fucking 1,000 people? Well, this is that anti-Semite list. Pretty obvious. Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson. Makes perfect sense. Don't know who this is. Where is this list? We're gonna actually check the facts here, guys. Embassy of Israel said they released a list of 1,000 anti-Semites. Where is that list?
Tips and things like that.
And things like that.
Is Hassan
Good
on the
reporting.
site? He actually is.
Good reporting. Is Hassan? Oh, you mean Hassan, who celebrates the October 7th attack? Hassan, right? That man. Or maybe they're actually bullshit here. Oh, this is even more bullshit. This is like a layers of bullshit. Then, if I can't find this list that Israel just said that they put out, or maybe I misinterpreted or something like that, and Asmongold is just taking this at face value and then using responses as clips and shit. Okay, like we're in such a disinformation hole right now that I don't know how if we're lost. We're fucking lost.
And featured, yes, clearly.
Approximately
Everybody who's part of the America First agenda should view being listed on this website as a qualification to run for office.
This is fucked. That's actually fucked. That's actually fucked, dude.
If you get listed on this website as being an enemy of the goals of Israel, then you are actually America First.
What about the people who have a list of Americans for their country? Like, what if we declare America an enemy? What if Canada starts to declare America an enemy, and then we start saying everybody that's on? Well, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Adrian Pro, how you doing, man? Welcome in. I'm having a hard time even tracking the lies right now. Publication, what I do find, mix of things, stop anti-Semitism. Oh, that's the anti-Semitism group. A list of 1,000 anti-Semites. Is it actually going to give me a list? Where is this from? Since October 7th, probably, yeah. An Israel government documenting a small number of people. Not 1,000. I wonder what stat she's referring to there. All good? Yeah, we're all good. Asmongold has just gone down this path of just half-ass garbage journalism. And he's amassed a whole bunch of people. Like, I don't want to write this out. This is so boring. It's so difficult to actually track how much trash is coming out of his mouth recently. Because I'm going to do this. Let's assume that Israel's lying. Okay, so Israel lies all the time. I'm like confident about that at some point. And I know enough Jewish people that do lie quite a bit about what Israel does. It's fine. It's all good. But it's not lying in the sense of like overt lying. It's usually lying in the sense of like twisting words and making them seem a little bit softer than they actually are, and redefining things and whatnot. That's totally fine. But this is like literally what Asmongold's doing right now. He hasn't responded to a single thing that she has said yet. He has not responded to a single thing. All he's done is said, well, this is what Israel wants. This is Israel basically slandering all American Jews. This is Israel has a list of people with clips and shit that make clips and shit. It's like, no, like, we're...
400 of these Jew haters have faced real consequences, including firings, suspensions, and expulsions.
And by the way, there are people on that list that are genuine anti-Semites and bad actors. Absolutely.
Oh, wait. Oh, so there are people, Asmon, who are on that list who are anti-Semites and bad actors, and you think that they should run for the U.S. government? You think they should work for the U.S. government? Is that what you think, Asmongold? This is again, like, it's like a eureka moment. Holy shit. He did 180. He literally is 180 right then and there. And maybe he's not 180. Maybe he's actually saying, maybe if we draw all the strings between all of Asmongold's ideas, maybe he does believe that there should be hateful people and anti-Semites in the U.S. government.
But I'm not going to use, like, whenever you're using your list in a cynical, self-serving way in order to advance Israel's goals,
they're not using the list to do stuff. Okay, the list is created because people are doing stuff. Like, it's not list first, punish later, or list first, find crime later. All right, it's watch and find crime, or find bad, hateful commentary, or find any problem per se and put them on a fucking list. Again, because Asmongold is so free speech, anybody can make a list. Anybody's allowed to make a list, and any group of people are allowed to come together and say that list is important. Mr. Freedom of Speech Asmongold.
Jewish people's goals, but Israel's goals, then I'm not going to respect this at all.
Oof and right is deed, Adrian. Oof.
More than 300 of them remain in an active investigatory state across universities, corporations.
Is this McCarthyism?
DEI departments.
Yeah, it basically is.
Oh, so we're not allowed freedom of speech here, Mr. Asmongold. We're not allowed to actively go out and advocate towards things. Institutions are not allowed to fire people who they don't like. They're not allowed to do anything. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Again, in a perfect world, and this is the weird thing about Asmongold, and a lot of people that are like him and argue like him, all right? If we had a perfect God, and that perfect God knew all of the problems, then yes, what he said would make sense. Because we can ask the perfect God. We can go, is this the way things are? Right? But no, we're not asking a perfect God, is this the way things are? We're asking a fucking basement-dwelling streamer, is this the way things are? Right? And the streamer is not giving back concrete examples of absolutely anything. He's not going, well, it's the way they are because we've seen them do this action and this action and this action and this action. And we can very clearly see that in this video, they've said this, this, and this, and this. No, he's actively ignored everything she said, and he's basically gone straight to accusing them of their own motives, right? Like he's going, their motives are bad, or their motives are unsound, and therefore their motives are bad, and therefore they won't succeed, with no whys or hows or anything. Like, we're gonna just keep going. This is crazy.
Unions, hospitals, nonprofits, and yes, unfortunately, federal government agencies. And yes, 5 arrests to date.
Sorry, bro, you didn't understand anything, but it sounded harsh. I don't know.
Tied directly to threats and violence of anti-Semitic conduct we helped expose.
Good, then just focus on that. Like, if you guys
They are. That's what they're doing, Asmon.
just focused on stopping the people that are trying to advocate for violence, everybody would be happy.
That's what they're doing, Asmon.
That would be good.
That's what they're
But
doing,
The problem
Asmon.
is that you're going as far to say that, like, oh, well, this is, like, you can't say this about Palestine, you can't say this about Israel.
When did she say this? Where did she say any of this in the video? No, like literally nowhere.
And somebody who's an activist for this is going to be criticized in this way. It's ridiculous.
This is what accountability looks like.
Speech is not
This is
violence.
what-
Speech can absolutely lead to violence.
Oh, it can, Mr. Asmongold. Speech can lead to violence. Adrian says, I don't think you understand much English, but you think I explained it well. That's what I'm trying to do. This is so hard. I jumped into this video thinking like, okay, maybe like I can critique the one-to-one. So if Asmongold says something in opposition to Israel's embassy, then I can very easily go like, oh yeah, look, here's the problem, here's the issue with it, which he does sometimes. But this video is like, he has literally not responded to a single thing that she has said.
Like, I don't play those fucking games, man. It's very obvious that there's some people that are talking about killing Jews. There's some people that are advocating for it, and those people should be locked up. Absolutely. I don't want to
No, Asmon, you literally just said that they probably should be running for government.
live in a world where you have entire groups of people on the internet that are advocating for the extermination of groups of people. It's just not like advocating for like, oh, somebody should go shoot this person or shoot this group of people. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, at the end of the day, like, I just don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in a world that...
My soundboard isn't working right now, Adrian Pro, so I have to say I gotta do these voice lines for you. So legendary. There, that's my Overwatch voice line.
is being terrorized by a bunch of mentally ill retards on the internet that can't control themselves. Just put them all in a box and forget about them.
Oh,
That's the way I...
so no free speech? So no free speech, Mr. Asmongold?
I don't want to live in a world that is being terrorized by a bunch of mentally ill retards on the internet that can't control themselves. Just put them all in a box and forget about them. That's the way I see it.
That's the way
Action looks like.
he just talked about freedom of speech, and then now he's saying we'll put up people that disagree with me in a box that are on the internet where all there is speech, and the speech that he directly said was like, he said that speech can lead to violence, but there's just too many points on the dartboard, or too many points on the button, whatever you want to call it. It's all over the place.
This is what pushing back hard looks like against the tidal wave of hate that has consumed the United States and global population. From our founding, Stop Anti-Semitism has operated on one guiding belief. Anti-Semitism thrives when there are no consequences. So we created consequences, a lot of them. We created visibility.
Here's the reason why this isn't working anymore. It's because I think that after Americans collectively became more aware of the Palestine-Israel conflict...
What are you responding to, Asmon?
There have been so many people who have been falsely labeled as anti-Semitic that the label doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yep, freedom of speech. They're allowed to call somebody anti-Semitic. They're allowed to track people. They're allowed to put people on lists. They're allowed to do these things.
So when you call everybody an anti-Semite and you say that everybody is evil and all of these people are bad, reasonable people will say that, oh, Miss Rachel?
Yeah, but what are you saying about Semites? Asmongold, you literally just did the same thing you critiqued. You make a broad statement about Israel, and you say Israel is doing all this stuff. And then now... you're saying you can't paint people with a broad brush. Again, I'll be very critical of Americans right now, as this like seems to be a consistent American argument that the Americans can paint anybody with a broad brush that they want. They can do that. They're allowed to, but nobody can paint Americans with a broad brush. Any type of broad brush, anything.
Well, I mean, should Miss Rachel really be on the same list as Nick Fuentes?
If the list is people with hair, they can be on that list. If there's an anti-Semite and someone expresses anti-Semitic views, all right, you can have a 100% anti-Semitic person and you can have a 5% anti-Semitic person. Obviously, the list is not about the extremes. It's about the impact. It's about looking and identifying that somebody contains and spreads types of information that corresponds with the hatred towards this small private organization's people.
That's stupid. That doesn't make it. That's weird. And you see something like that, and it's like, okay, like let's.
Depends on the list. Chat gets it. I see someone.
What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? And so it's like cancel culture. That's it. That's exactly it.
What's chat saying? Denying Israel the right to exist is pretty anti-Semitic. Yep.
She should be on
Nick isn't on the list.
a worse list, right? And Nick Fuentes didn't even make top 10, and she did. That's ridiculous. Think about
What's she doing?
that. So Miss Rachel,
And what this private organizations, this private entity, which is Israel, is allowed to have technically their own opinions. As simple as that.
Miss Rachel made top 10 anti-Semites,
What
and Nick
does this
Fuentes did not.
What does this have to? What does this have to do with anything in the video? Holy fuck! Am I gonna have to say this every single time he starts talking? To be like, what does this have to do with anything in the video? Because this is gonna be like an hour-long video of me just going, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?"
That's crazy.
Turn the spotlight towards those who targeted on our community, making silence impossible.
Nick should be mad.
On
Yeah,
campuses
true.
where Jewish
not even listening
students
to her.
were
Got
hunted through libraries.
He's not even listening to her.
Where professors glorified Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists.
Opinion of the opinion. Exactly. Here I am reacting to somebody reacting to Israel's reaction to the reaction of Israel's reaction.
Where mobs shut
What I hate so much about this woman is the fact that she's half right. But she's doing it in a way that is serving a
She's half right, but we spent the whole video so far saying how they're wrong, not addressing anything that she says.
foreign interest and helping create a power structure that is, you know, like, again, not good for Americans. That's what's so annoying about it.
How is it? Please tell us why, Mr. Asmongold.
How? Because it's undeniable that after October 7th, there has been a massive outburst of anti-Semitism that is genuine Jew hate. It's like what I said, like, about people celebrating the shooting yesterday and, like, not wanting anybody to feel sorry for the victims. Like,
What does this... guys... This,
it is true, it is real, it does happen, and it does exist. But the problem is that when every single time you have people saying this, you can't conflate somebody like that and then say, okay, well, this is the same as like somebody who, you know, doesn't like Israel.
is that what they're doing? It's really interesting watching people like this, where the narrative that they have constructed, like, seems to take priority to even the content that they're watching, right? That you can tell that there's like a disjointed nature, or there's like dual stories happening right now within this reporting, you could say, reporting that he's doing, where she wants to talk about, and she wants to, Israel is openly, overtly saying we are keeping an eye on increased anti-Semitism, and we have a list of people that have shown increased anti-Semitism since the October 7th, October 7th or October 6th, the October 7th attacks, October 7th, I hope so. Yeah, the October 7th attacks. Right? And then we're partway through. We're already past all this weird dual story thing where he's talking about the incentives Israel has and how whether Israel's critiquing or adopting and slandering American Jews and all this weird random shit. And then now we get to the point. It's like, well, no, she's half right. She's half right. What is she half right about? What did we just like listen to anything that she just said at all? Which we didn't. We just kind of walked over it. Oh, thank you, moderator. Bot, for removing that comment. It's just crazy. I am going crazy, and I can tell the Asmongold comments right now are going to be like, "Oh, you're all over the place, and you're having a hard time tracking, and you're doing like." Well, there's nothing to track here. There is literally nothing to track. There are two stories. That one is Asmongold saying one story about Israel, and another is Israel just saying, "Hey, we've noticed increased anti-Semitism," which Asmongold agrees with, and "Hey, we're keeping an eye on a lot of these people, and we have an organization set up, and we have a private way of going through and trying to punish some of these people." That's total.
That's the issue.
shut down our buildings, and administrators hid under desks. We stepped in. We documented the offenders. We worked with attorneys, lawmakers, and victim families. And we ensured the message was
Video proof, yeah,
not
exactly.
unmistakable. If you target Jewish students, your actions will not disappear into the darkness.
He sips his
We
pop,
will
I sip my vape.
shine a light on you that, thanks to Google and SEO, will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented.
Well, we can easily solve this problem, by the way.
Oh,
You
how?
can easily solve this problem.
Easily.
Like, and again,
Easily. Let me hear how you easily
is
solve it.
this a good thing that basically you have a foreign power that is creating a blacklist for American citizens that criticize it by then misrepresenting, defaming, and slandering this person and calling them an anti-Semite?
This is what governments do. This is literally what the United States does. What are you talking about? The only difference is that they're like telling us about it. They're actively telling us. They're going, we have a list. We're tracking you motherfuckers. Right? Like, and why is the United States, Team America World Police here, Team America World Judge, Team America, like you could critique in some kind of way, but I don't know what like Asmongold's substantial argument is here. I literally don't know. And all the people that are like, well, you just can't track what he's saying. No, I'm just not forcing the puzzle pieces into spots the puzzle pieces cannot fit. There is no connection. There is no connection between these two ideas that are being presented right now. And he is simply stating them as a rule, as a fact, as a thing. This is the way things are. This will not work. They will fail. They will. What is the connection? They will fail because they are adopting people in the United States as a part of their cause.
Is that a good thing? That's illegal? Yeah, I mean, you could literally just make it against the law to do something like.
Oh, you make it against the law for a different country. A different country to not make lists about people. Weren't we just talking about dismantling the UN? Weren't we? I know not in this video in particular, but how in the world are you going to do that? You can't, because it just sounds good. It's just authoritarian sounding good.
This is easy.
I will remove all bad things from the world. Guys, there'll be no more bad things. And I'll stop bad people from doing bad things. And trust me.
Or have it shut down. Like, it's extremely fucking easy to do. So this is
it's extremely easy to shut down a list that a government makes.
like, and never forget that you can just say no to anything. And if there's enough people out there that want to say no to this, then it doesn't happen.
What are you talking?
Never,
What are you
never have the
talking
mindset
about?
that people like.
You just say no. Guys, when a government makes a list of people that hate and are anti your government and anti your establishment, just say no. Just say no. Fuck.
This actually have any power at all. None of these people really have any power. They only have the power that you let them have.
No, they have the most power. Israel in particular has the most power of almost any country out there. Not in the sense of like America has power, where they just have military power and economic power. Israel has managed to stay in power despite everybody else around them not wanting them to have power. They have diplomatic power. They have political power, which is the power that Asmongold is. Again, we have this other thing. He's saying that Israel has disproportionate power over the United States. You think you just did that out of choice? Someone's just like, oh, yeah, you'll be the power and we'll be the not power. And No, Israel literally has the most power of almost any other country out there. Not because it is the largest economy, not because they are the most effective politicians, but because other countries have said you can't exist, and they went, fuck you, we are going to exist. This is like, just say no. This is crazy. Just say no. Just say Israel doesn't have the power to do. Oh, fucking hell, dude.
And so if you see something like this happening, you can just simply get enough people together and then make it stop happening. That's it.
Just do it.
Just turn it off.
Just turn it. Just. What is Chad say? I'll be hiring only people blacklisted by them, but APAC pays them so much. Many give it away. Oof, threatening to ruin someone's life for every opinion. You just turn the list off, guys.
Yeah, imagine Russia or China does this publicly. Exactly. They have massive power. Yeah, I know.
Imagine China or Russia does this publicly as opposed to private. Oh my god.
You need a lot of people. Yeah, you need a lot of people to do it, for sure. But APAC pays them so much, you have to get a lot of people together. Yeah, it's by the way, that's going to happen. It's going in that direction, and they can't stop it. It's already doing that, and there's nothing they can do about it. It doesn't matter the terror attacks. It doesn't matter anything else. People don't give a shit about it. At the end of the day, people don't want their country run by a foreign power.
What? This is such an... Israel has made a list of people that they think want to destroy Israel. And it's not going to work because people don't care, because people don't want their country ruled by a foreign power. I swear to fucking God, Asmon viewers, if you guys somehow try and stitch that together, or if you somehow post and go, no, this is just super obvious, how can you not track this? Okay, you people are animal. That's all I got to say. If you think that there's somehow a connection between those, I would love to hear it. Put it in the comments. Like, give me something other than just, that's the way it is. You're so dumb. You're so blah, 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 blah. Whatever the fuck is going on. I don't understand the connections here.
And I think that it's snowballing.
No, I don't understand. There are no connections. There are literally no connections in between the effects that Asmongold wants and the actions that he wants to enact. These are not the same thing.
Very, very, very fast.
They're not
I think that
connected
the
in any way.
amount of influence and, I would say, kowtowing and reverence towards Israel, I think it's going to last for 2 more election cycles, and that's it. I do. I think that's the end of it.
On what basis?
Really.
On what basis? On what basis? What's the assumption? Where's the numbers? What numbers do you have? Do you think Israel's just going to stop being Israel? Do you think they're just going to stop having impact on the world stage? You think they're just going to stop having some of the best doctors and the best computer scientists and best engineers? You think they're just going to stop?
Like that's going to be it. And so I think that the next one you're going to have a little bit of people playing it, but like that's it. One more? No, it's 2 more. 2 more for sure. That long? Yeah, it'll take a bit, right? But like, isn't this harassment? It is harassment. It is. And what they try to do is
Isn't keeping track of your enemies is harassment. Publicly keeping track of your enemies is harassment. Republicans are snowflakes. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. As a man who probably would have been and probably would be a Republican if Republicans were actual cult members at this point.
try to dox, mislabel, defame, slander, and misrepresent anybody who goes against their interests.
Freedom of speech, motherfuckers.
That's what they do.
Freedom of speech.
You say up at the UK has a massive uprising of people begging Trump or Putin to take over the UK? Well, for the same reason, right? That's it. Less than 2 cycles. I think it'll take about 10 years. Right? I do. I think it'll take 10 years for it to happen. I think that people think that...
I think the proper right's going to take over and going to hang people like fucking Asmongold. I'll be honest. I'll be straight up. There's going to be like there will be a point, not the lefties, because the lefties fucking sit at home. They always fuck around. They always screw around in history. They always fuck up their countries, and they always fuck up whatever stuff. All right. It's going to be the actual righties. It's going to be the guys that go, you know what? I'm sick of this authoritarian piece of shit. I'm sick of people telling me what to do. I'm sick of people telling other people what to do, and not Americans, but there will Like there is a real pushback at the moment against this type of authoritarian belief where you can just declare things and you can just use words that are vague and don't attach them to any idea, like somehow saying that a country making a list of possible enemies is somehow a public list, which we don't even totally see somewhere, a public announcement about a sort of list, that somehow this is less evil or like people are just going to stand for it. They're not going to take. People are smarter than this. I'm 100% sure. We just have like an era of the internet, especially where people that are deceptive and like Asmongold in particular have taken over the narrative, and he treats his viewers like idiots. He treats all of his viewers like idiots. He doesn't look shit up. He doesn't. You just sit here watching him watch videos, and he's not even responding to the video itself. He's just yapping. He's just yapping.
The internet all the time is like that's like the front lines, and I think that we're just early usually, right? Like the things that, like, for example, do you know anybody who's like maybe like kind of more of a normie, and they'll show you memes that were on the internet 6 months ago, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember I saw this whenever it happened, but like, they just found out about it recently and they think it's really funny.
Yeah, Asmongold, people are just figuring out about you. Nobody knows about the streamer world yet. People who are just getting into this internet space are starting to realize that it is full of people like you, Asmongold, that do not have a cohesive idea about the world. You do not have a map of things that make sense. You have a bunch of spotted little ideas, all right? And those spotted little ideas are very authoritarian. They're very much along the lines of people who think that they can simply tell the world what to do because America. It's like it's insane. It's the same way that the Germans were telling the world what to do because of Germany. And it's like it's the same way that the Russians tell the world what to do because of Russia. The Chinese tell the world what to do because of China. Like, America is supposed to be exempt from all this. It's supposed to be separate from all this. Yet here we are. Here we have people that are advocating for the exact things that they seem to hate while not being very aware of the fact that they're doing it.
I think that really politics works the same way, and a lot of things work the same
and
way.
This is so hard to follow because he's just
people on the internet are a lot more plugged in, and so they're going to be able to get this stuff earlier. It's like we have early access, right? But eventually, once the public actually starts seeing it in mass,
yeah. Oh wow, you are the one with the insight, Asmongold. You are the new early person who sees the future, who sees the way things are, and that your viewers need to get caught up, and so that they watch you and they figure out the new memes, the memes that you need to follow. Because if you're not following those memes, the new memes, you're actually old. You're doing old memes. You're all in old memes. So follow Asmongold. Listen to Asmongold, guys. He knows where the new memes are, and all of his new memes are correct.
Have viewpoints that are different. And one thing that right now with the Israel lobbies that really I think is kind of downplayed is the fact that a lot of these people are not running for office yet. We have had very few people who have wanted to run for office that were openly against Israel money, Israel lobbies, or any sort of Israel influence. We haven't had that many of them. And so whenever that starts happening regularly, then it basically brings the support of Israel back into the Overton window.
And this is fine. This is where we're mixing justified complaints with completely irrelevant information. Nothing Asmongold has said here has anything to do with the video that we're watching. It has nothing to do with the video that we're watching. And yet we're somehow down this path about Israel money in the United States. Or Israel's money in the United States and influence. Can we address what Israel is addressing? And that's probably one of the reasons why Israel is actually so good at getting its fingers into U.S. politics in general. It's because Americans like Asmongold are actually they're just idiots. They just don't know how to follow politics. They don't know where power comes from. They don't know how influence influences people. They just don't know. He of course he's got a large reach, but he's got no power. He's got no ability to do anything. We haven't seen any Asmongold we haven't seen Asmongold change anything but make a whole bunch of money on YouTube, make a whole bunch of money on Twitch, right? We just don't see these things. And the problem is that when you put a man, if he was to become the king, he would very quickly make life really bad for the rest of us. And there might be a few people that would drag him out of his comfy little home and do bad things to him on the streets. Because You can't know you cannot know the things that he's claiming to know. You just can't know the things that he's claiming to know. But those are the things that get clicks.
Because they've tried so hard to prevent people from even thinking this is a conversation point. But recently, I would say in the last 2 or 3 years, there has been an increasingly heavier amount of pressure for people to move away from supporting it. That's what I think is happening.
Oh, you do think that's happening? Okay. Okay.
Again, thanks to Google and SEO. In corporations where DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas, we pressured CEOs. Some resigned, many were terminated, but policies were changed, thankfully, from governmental to art institutions.
I mean, I don't think I don't complain about that. I mean, you know, if you're promoting terrorism, then I think that's obviously bad. I mean, like, yeah, of course. Like, this is what I was saying about the half-right thing.
Online.
Oh, the half-right thing. I'm glad we've spent half of this video saying how half-right she is.
Where anonymous accounts spread violent threats, we traced patterns, elevated evidence, and worked with authorities, leading to arrests from Florida, South Carolina, New York, California, and Texas. And we're not slowing down, sadly. Today, Stop Anti-Semitism, I'm proud to say, runs one of the most robust...
No, you guys got it right. Somebody says Zoran. Yeah, Zoran is a good example of a so-called anti-Semite by these groups that still won the mayor. Yeah, exactly. Like, that was the first... I think that right there is the first proof that 100% you are no longer required to support Israel. And
You've never been required to support Israel. You've never been required to support Israel. That's the whole thing behind the October 7th fucking blue-haired fatties cheering about the killing of Jews. That is literally the whole argument. I do know why Asmon does this, but I don't know how he gets away with it. These are the active issues. And he says, well, this is not the active issue. And it's like, who's been forced to support Israel? Well, the Americans and their taxpayers, and they've sent money back and more than they've ending agreements. Okay, what does that have to do with free speech and the individual? That's to do with the institutions. We can argue with the institutions owe the money or stuff like that. But what we're doing is we're like muddying the water again. We're just conveniently bringing in things from other places to talk about and not really talking about what's being talked about in the video. We're just ranting the whole time saying, oh, this is bad because Israel bad. It just doesn't make any sense.
in order to win political office in America. And, like, you can dislike Zoran, you can think he's an asshole, you can think...
Wait. Oh, fuck, dude, I hate... Why? How did I get to that? Ugh.
It's one of the most robust...
No, you guys got it right. Somebody says Zoran... Yeah, Zoran is a good example. And, like, you can dislike Zoran, you can think he's an asshole, you can think everything. And I'll probably agree with you about some of those things, right? Like, I'm not a fan of everything he says either, but I'm a fan of that. Zoran does support Israel, though? It's not in... Come on. What do...
Wait. Does... Wait. Zoran Hamdani support Israel? Nira does not support Israel government policies. Their prominent circle. He's doing long history pro-Palestinian. Did he just like not? He's talking about Zoran. We're just talking about Zoran. He just like no idea what his positions are because look at it.
Zoran does support Israel, though? It's not in... Come on. What are we talking about?
Come on, what are we talking?
Anti-Semitic enforcement operations in the United States, monitoring campuses, digital networks, activist groups, and public officials, documenting incidents in real time and mobilizing millions of people, of allies that are quietly by our side. But the fight is bigger than the exposure.
Asmongold,
and it's
are
about
you a male
securing
Karen?
a future where Jewish students can walk across a quad with.
Yeah, somebody says, what do you think our stance towards Israel should be? I think that it's okay for us to have a military interplay with Israel to the extent that it's in the best interest of the American military and the American, economy. I think that's okay. In the same way that we have, I mean, we're selling jets to Qatar. I think that we can sell them to Israel too, right? That's fine. But the main thing that I want to see us get away from is having Israel's influence inside of American politics and having Israel, things like AIPAC, be directly involved with American policy and
President Asmongold, what is your policy regarding starving children in the streets? Well, excuse me. I think that I don't think that starving children is actually really good. But capitalism also really good, and they don't have any money. So if they don't have any money, I still don't like starving children because they need food, and children that aren't starving make more money, and there should be things that when they come together that the kids should have more food. Thanks, Asmongold. Thank you so much. Thank you, President Asmongold, for your incredible insight. I mock this, but this is how Donald Trump is right now. This is just literally how Donald Trump speaks and talks. But like, there's I'm spending this whole fucking video just saying there's nothing here.
American lawmakers. That's the main thing to happen.
Oh.
And also this whole thing where we're constantly defending them. I don't think so.
Oh, the policy. Okay, Mr. Asmongold, policy changer, decides that he's no longer going to have bad things and people say bad things to each other. And they're not allowed, other countries are not allowed to talk to American politicians. All right. And, but President Asmongold, don't you think that there's like specific policy involving the exchange of money that probably should be addressed? And it seems that you're so critical of Israel that you should know exactly what policies those are that you're referring to. Which policies are you referring to, Mr. Asmongold? Well, the ones where they that we defend them.
Don't have a problem with Israel. I think Israel is probably a nice place. It's probably full of a bunch of great people. But the problem is that I don't want to have decisions made in America in the context of Israel. That's it.
So, Mr. President Asmongold, what policies are there? What policies are those ones that impact America?
Without being screamed at.
Let's keep watching the video.
Future where employers understand that anti-Semitism is not activism. It's bigotry, and it will cause you to lose your job. A future.
It's a little weird. Obviously, okay, so the thing is she's not substantiating anything. That's the big thing that Jews have a problem with and have to deal with in some kind of way, is where they just say that, you know, anything anti-Jew is bad. I am like anti-religion. I'm anti-statehood of religions too. That's totally fine. But I also live in a world where we don't politics is politics. Just because I have an idea doesn't mean that I can force somewhere else on the other side of the world to do these kind of things and change up their ways. So we just have to deal with them. They're a country. We can't bomb them. We can't fucking bomb them, right? So it's like, okay, why is it that a country can then somehow be like, well, if you don't think the thing that we like, we're gonna go after you at your job. But this is where Asmongold is actually fucking. There's not a single goddamn thing going on in his head right now, where like a private entity, individual entity is going to be pushing data out to public places to attack people that they don't like. But the free speech thing is it's up to the companies, right? It's all up to the companies. Let's say North Korea came up to me and was like, hey, I don't want you to hire this person, or I don't want you to work with this person. Or it's like, okay, so what then? right? And then the Asmongold answer is, well, that would be bad, and so we need to stop that. And it's like, well, okay, how do you bring in policy? How do you, clearly you need more thought here, right? We are adults. We are not just children, where someone goes, this is my goodness stick, and I hit them with the goodness stick, and then they're good now, and then that's the rule. And if I have the goodness stick, then everything is good. And if you have the goodness stick, then you control the goodness, and you're bad. It's just like this is such level 1 kind of basic bullshit stupid analysis that people get caught up in, that there's no answer. It's
where fact, not propaganda, shapes policy. A future where global institutions, from Google to Chat GPT, from governments to universities to media.
And you can see what their goal is, right? Their goal is to take over every media apparatus and then to use every media apparatus as replacement propaganda for the propaganda people are seeing that's anti-Jewish.
Oh, so you want to, but here's the thing, is Asmongold wants to do the exact same thing. Asmongold literally wants to do the exact same thing. The policies that he advocates for are not only the ones that Israel is trying to do, which we're trying to achieve in some kind of way. The policies that he advocates for are actually worse than that, right? They are more authoritarian. And he said it multiple times in here where he's like, well, you know what? We'll just, I have the exact quote on it, but he goes, we'll just punish bad people who say bad things, or that we'll punish the people who put pressure on our civilians. I'm having even a hard time like putting together the cohesive plan that he had for dealing with Israel, who made the list about he literally hasn't advocated for anything. He hasn't said anything. There's nothing to respond to.
They're basically openly, I mean, they're giving away the game, really. They're saying very clearly, we want to use these tools. They're listing out the tools and say, we are going to use these tools as propaganda weapons for our end.
You said that, Asmongold. You directly said that. You are the one. You are actively advocating for this. You are as much of an evil person as the people who try to control social media. But here's the thing. That is the end game. This is like saying, I don't know, a country's end game is to control the land and have more land. And it's like, well, no shit, Sherlock. A country wouldn't exist without the land. This is the end game. This is the thing that people are trying to achieve. And if they achieve it, they gain global power, right? You are saying the same thing. You want the same thing that Israel wants. You are an authoritarian, okay? You are the same authoritarian in the same way that Netanyahu is, all right? Not in the sense of, oh, I am Gaddafi authoritarian, all right? But you are anti-democratic authoritarian, meaning you do not care about what the people say. You do not care about protecting the people. What you care about is making yourself feel like you are running democracy, make you feel like you're influencing democracy. You want to force people to deal with your feelings and not to deal with your policy.
Same as Democrats. I agree with you. Like, but I mean, it's
you see what's happened to quite often. Someone be like, you're like, oh well, that's the same thing on the other side, or that's the same thing. And he goes, he immediately just rolls everything back that he said. Like literally, immediately rolls it back.
It's very openly stated. I'm very much against using social influence to make someone a pauper. I'm not. I would be more than willing to do it for somebody that I didn't like. I've done it before.
Exactly. Oh my fucking
But the
God.
problem is that I don't want to have a foreign country doing it and then creating a chilling effect across the entire country to prevent negative discourse about a country.
Wow.
A foreign country.
I don't want starving children on my street because they're starving and they are hungry and it's bad and it's like, holy fuck, dude. What a bunch of nothing.
That's the problem. So I don't have an issue with somebody getting, like hate on social media, but I want it to be done by Americans for Americans.
As a non-American, and to point out your country, the country of immigrants, all right, you do not have as many Americans as you think you do. You are going to start defining what it means to be an American, and you're going to realize really quickly, and you already are with the ICE raids, that the people that you consider American that vote for you are actually a very small minority of people. Everybody else, they're going to realize real fast that what you think is American is not actually the America that is American.
Not for fucking Israel.
Finally treats Jew hatred.
See what I'm saying?
with the
How many Israelis have American citizenship? Estimates hundreds of thousands. What percent? A significantly small minority, 102,000. That's quite a few people. That's a decent amount. I thought it'd be a little more. That'd be like 300,000 to 400,000, but I could be wrong here. Oh wait, let's ask this. How many Americans have dual citizenship? Some sources 500 or 5 million. Americans seeking passports need to reach 40% eligibility. There's no registry. God. 500,000. That sounds way too small. If it's over 1%, that's a significant amount of Americans that you're saying are not American. That's more than the amount that Donald Trump won by. Way more than the amount that Donald Trump won by.
serious of other minority targeted hate. To get there, we need three things.
It's not going to happen, by the way. That's never going to happen. You're not even going to get left-wing people on this side.
Action, real action, as I listed. Accountability, relentless vigilance, because anti-Semitism does not take breaks. It doesn't wait for elections. It doesn't disappear because we are exhausted and tired. And when I tell you myself and my team are exhausted and tired, that's the least of it. Stop anti-Semitism has never been more essential, more strategic, or more effective than it is now. But we cannot do this alone. The demand, the volume of tips, the number of investigations.
Yeah, I'm not helping with this shit. I don't think anybody else should either. These people are trying to subvert American sovereignty and
How? How are they subverting American sovereignty? Why? By advocating for their own country?
force Israel's politics and Israel's goals into American life and to American goals. They want to
kind of like America, how America is forcing their life and their policy into the rest of the world's goals. Like certain individuals we'll name, like the president, for example, who threatens to invade other countries, who bombs ships, private ships from other countries, who murders their citizens, who deports veterans of the United States, who deports brown people that they don't like, deports American citizens in general. That's pretty fucking terrible. Who is advocating for the destruction of European agreements and European policy, like this actual unhinged, actual retard behavior.
Wear our skin, make us act in their best interest. And keep in mind, there's two flags of fucking Israel, and I guess it's the embassy of Israel, so it makes sense to an extent. But there's only one flag of America. This is not in the best interest of America. This is in the best interest of Israel.
It's not supposed to be. They actually say it's in the best interest of Israel.
They purposely conflate anti-Semitism with criticism of Israel? Exactly.
Sadly continues to grow instead of decrease.
Yep.
If we want a safer future for the Jewish people, this is the moment to stand together and act. We have to push hard.
If you want a safer world for the Jewish people, stop conflating criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism, because it's making more people anti-Semitic.
I stopped too early. Let's re-listen to that.
Stop conflating criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism, because it's making more people anti-Semitic.
Stop conflating.
Because for the Jewish people,
the criticism of Israel.
Stop conflating criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism.
Because
Because
it's making more people
more people anti-Semitic. Asmongold literally just said that anti-Semitism wasn't an issue. Okay? And if you are making arguments against something that are irrelevant to the Semitism, and you become anti-Semitic because your arguments are irrelevant, you have jumped a gap that is... let me rephrase that. Let me try and roll this back a little bit. Let's talk about how the logic lays out, because how the logic lays out is very, very clear. Okay. All right. Let me use an analogy. A very easy analogy. Okay. If I don't like burgers, okay, and I don't like burgers for the fact that they have lettuce in them. I just don't like the lettuce. I don't like the lettuce at all. Okay. And someone comes along and they go, well, hey, I really like my burgers with lettuce. And everyone around goes, well, you can't have a burger joint. And wait a minute. What do you mean? I'm going to have a burger joint with my lettuce. I want to have lettuce. You don't get to say that you don't like my lettuce. I'm going to do it my way. Right? And now maybe, don't get me wrong, they like lettuce, so they go around, they talk to other restaurants around the place, and they also get the other restaurants to have lettuce. So there's been a little consensus. People like the lettuce. And then you come into the space, and you go, I fucking hate lettuce. I fucking hate lettuce. And they go, well, come on, like, we like lettuce in the burgers. This is good. It's good to have lettuce in the burgers. It's fine. And then you go, you got to stop defending lettuce, or else I'm going to hate burgers. What you mean if I keep defending lettuce, you're going to hate all burgers? Even burgers without lettuce? No, yeah. And you go, well, that seems like an illogical step to me. And that's really concerning because it means that by advocating for the thing that I like, that doesn't hurt you. And because maybe we're being a bit sneaky and pushing some stuff out to the other places and whatnot, you're now attributing it to burgers, the lettuce, the growth of lettuce in the environment into burgers. Right? I might be a little bit worried that there's some weird anti-burger sentiment going on that is irrelevant to the lettuce. And you go, and then some people go, well, we have also burger joints without lettuce. And they go, well, no, I hate these burger joints too. And you're like, wait a minute. You hated lettuce. You keep saying that it's nothing to do with the Semitism, with the Semitic version, the shape of Israel. But now it does. And if you throw out the lettuce, you still have a problem with it. You throw out all the bad stuff of Israel. You now have the Semitism, and you're saying you're creating anti-Semitics. You're creating anti-burger people who hate burgers, even though there's no longer lettuce in that fucking burger. You're creating anti-Semitic people, despite all the issues that you have, having nothing to do with the Semitism. You are retarded, all right? And I would be worried. It's perfectly reasonable to be worried that, and to raise awareness, that there is a group of people out there that is doing this irrational jump between two ideas, and that potentially you need a list of people that are making this irrational jump. But then now that you just said they're making people more anti-Semitic, so we obviously have more anti-Semites, that you don't need a list? Like, you shouldn't track these things? And that you can't track these things because the anti-Semitism doesn't exist in the first place? How? I'm losing it.
Semitic. Because if you constantly tell people that any criticism of Israel is hatred of Jews, what happens when they agree with you?
Then Israel's right. Then Israel is correct in its assessment. That is literally the correct assessment, because that it means that your argument in the first place had nothing to do with the moral standings that you have against whatever Israel's doing. You hid your real issues in a box. You brought that box along, and when the moment someone said, I don't think I think you're hiding the reason that you're pissed, and you go, well, whoops, I was hiding it all along. It's in the box. It's like, yo, I saw you had the box. I saw you walked in the room with anti-Semitism, and now you're telling me there's a reason for your anti-Semitism.
That's scary.
Order to make it clear that Jewish
Which, again, keep in mind, none of this has anything to do with the video.
safety is a non-negotiable. Tonight, I'm asking you to always be in the fight with us, not just in spirit, but in true action. Participate in calls to action. Write letters to your governmental officials.
Be a Karen.
Speak to the
Be a
teachers
Karen.
and the college administrators that are making, if it's not your friends and kids, it's making other community members feel unsafe.
Be a Karen.
When we act, lives change.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm going to lose a lot of people with this. We need more Karens. We lost it. We started insulting Karens for a while. And I'll tell you, ever since we started insulting Karens, things have gotten worse. All right. As someone who is not a fan of Karens, or hasn't been a fan of Karens in the past, I'm starting to realize I am noticing things are getting worse because of two things. It correlates with two things. Things are getting worse with one correlation, one correlation is that we have new immigrants, and the other correlation is that we have less Karens. So it's got to be one of the two, right? Like, we have lots of problems because we have more immigrants, or we have lots of problems because we have less Karens. But I think it's because we have less Karens. I'll be honest.
Anti-Semites learn, sometimes for the very first time in their lives and history, that targeting Jews will come at a price.
I love how they're acting like being anti-Semitic wasn't like what happened to Mel Gibson. Like, this whole concept that being anti-Semitic has been popular until now is ridiculous.
Asmongold, you literally just said there wasn't an issue with anti-Semitism, and now you are saying that it's pretty obvious anti-Semitism has been a common thing.
It's so
and that it's
stupid, and like everybody knows this isn't true.
And together we can ensure that Jew hatred never goes unanswered again. As a former refugee from the USSR, I say this with all of my heart. God bless the United States. God bless Israel, and Am Israel Chai. Thank you so much.
Great, that's lovely. So we have somebody from the USSR that's importing in Stalin's own fucking censorship. That's great.
that you agreed with, Asmon. You literally agreed with it in the same video.
Yeah, let's make a blacklist for everybody that disagrees with your country and everybody that doesn't.
No, Asmon, let's make a blacklist for everybody that makes blacklists that disagrees with your country.
Want us to support your country, and then for whatever reason now we're going to get them fired from everything. We're going to say that they hate an entire ethnicity of people, all to further the goals of this very small country. I don't fucking think so. America last? Exactly. Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh, you can't be America first in America and then see that another smaller country is also trying to put Israel first. Israel's not going to put America first. I don't know where the fuck this idea is coming from. Same thing with the fucking Canadian shit that the stupid Americans pull. For some reason, Americans thought that Canadians were going to put America first. Get fucked.
Absolutely insane. And there is real legitimate bad anti-Semitism, like the stuff that I was showing before.
So there is, yes, Yasmin,
right? Like these fucking
yeah.
But the problem is that, this is my opinion, is that these comments like this and these people like this, do you know what these people represent?
Jews are out of. Oh my God, these people.
Not Americans.
Oh, do you know who you're talking to right now, Asmon? Not an American. Not a retard. Your whole country has gone retarded. Every single one. Fucking lefty SJWs to authoritarian retard right wings.
They are not Americans.
You are not American, Asmongold.
Don't care about American interests.
You don't care about American interests. You care about Asmongold interests. And you said this multiple times. You said this multiple times to people. And the fact that you can say this to your audience and they don't pick this stuff up and they still act as though you are somehow fighting for America, it is beyond me. It is beyond me to have somebody advocate for Russian-style propaganda and Russian-style media attacks, as this man has, and then still also defend or still act like he's defending America. This is insane.
They don't care about Western interests. They care
not
about
Western, American interests. All right. The West does not agree with whatever the fuck this is. The West does not.
perpetrating and continuing a Middle Eastern blood feud. Get them.
Oh, let's make the Middle Eastern blood feud, which Asmongold literally he agreed with. This is the thing too. He's like, I agree with half of it. I agree with half, and the half that I agree with is the authoritarian part. The half that I agree with is the Sand People part, is the Middle Eastern part of some weird ancient fight. That's what I agree with. What I don't agree with is the actual actions that that Israel is taking to defend itself and to insert itself into politics, into the modern world stage. I don't agree with the fact that Israel is doing it. That's the 50% he doesn't agree with. What he does agree with is how to do it. He agrees. He overtly says in this video, I agree. This is how this should be done, but I don't like it because it is Israel, because it is not America.
The fuck out. Get the fuck out. Like, this is so, like, people can't afford houses here. We can't even figure.
Yeah, you can't afford houses because your people are retarded. My people are retarded too, by the way. Here in Canada, we're like selfish fucks too. Hiccups, sorry. But they can't afford it because they're all sitting in fucking chat.
Figure out how to do our schools.
Because you don't want to pay for them. Asmongold, you have directly advocated for the removal of all of the education system in the United States. I have to clip it. I don't have the clips right here, but he's basically said the entire education system is corrupt and that somehow he would know how to rebuild it if he could rebuild. Like, this is wild.
And we're trying to micromanage some fucking blood feud.
No, you're not micromanaging it. Israel is micromanaging it. You are watching it on Twitter and you don't understand the history.
On the other side of the world, it drives me crazy, doesn't
it? They are dealing with their own shit, and yet somehow they're able to also control your country by your words. And I'll be honest, if they do control your country, probably because you're a bunch of retards and like you've allowed it and you don't understand power and you try to define power as something else and you do the whole SJW thing where people are like, oh, I'm going to define my the way that I present in the world and I tell other people how to look at me and I tell other people how to do this shit. Yeah, you're doing the same shit, Asmon. You just fucking lose at politics. This is what you just lose at politics. You just lose your country. Donald Trump is in fact, you guys are losing your country right now. You're losing your place on the global stage and you're acting like you're not. You're actually, you're going, you're shitting your pants and you're going, no, that smells good. That smells really good. Yeah. And everyone's walking away. Everyone's going, we're not going to deal with it because this doesn't make any sense. And you're like, you know what, guys, I'm going to succeed because I shit my pants. And people are like, well, how? How are you going to succeed because you shit your pants? And he's going to be like, because they're my pants and because my pants I care about. And it just doesn't, no. The start of this is going to be really confusing. I don't really care too much. I've flipped on Asmongold completely at this point. Again, I used to watch him because of the casual fun stuff and, cool memes and stuff like that, playing video games. But at this point, he is moving a whole bunch of young men down a path of actual retardation, of like full on incomprehensible policies and analysis. Okay, all like it bugs me. That'll be a good video. That'll make a lot of Asmongold fans mad. No. Wait, we gotta take a look. Am I still popping off? 600. Asmon should be working a cashier job. If I said Asmon would struggle at a cashier job, he would definitely struggle. I don't really care. Lying this is very subjective compared call it lying to his audience, but you're pretty fair because Asmon pretty much exaggerates when he discusses topics similar to this. He never says More often than not, it's hot girl. Nor did he criticize these hot girls streaming. He never said it's bad. No, he did. Maybe criticism tone existing it. Saying you only interpret it like that. You're twisting words a bit. Clearly, enjoy the audience while it lasts. Hope it serves you well. You really can't tell he's joking. I got to point this out too. This is a common thing. It's like a boomer, or sorry, it's a zoomer. It's a Gen something post irony thing where it's like where you inject. Let me rethink this. Be clear. You say something so ironic that you have a truth layer, then you have an irony layer, and then you have another truth layer. Right? So when I come out, I can say something along the lines, something super inflammatory. Black people are violent. Okay? We have a black people are violent, really angry. Right? And then you come along and you joke about it. You know, oh, black people are violent. Right? And then what happens is you come along and then you joke about the joke about. And then you go, black people are violent. And what you're doing is you're joking about the people who are like, black people are violent. But who are joking about the people like, black people are violent. But they're mocking the mocking. Right? They say, no, black people are actually violent. But I'm mocking the person who's mocking the person. Right? We're layers deep now. And this is what Asmon does. This is actually what Nick Fuentes does quite often. Where it's a joke about a joke. So there's seriousness in the joke. They're really serious about what they're saying, but they've meta ironied it. They've flipped down multiple layers where they're making fun of the people who are making fun of their ideas. This guy is actually brain dead. An entire meme. Every cashier's being gorgeous. Ironically, my EB games also had a super cute girl working at it. Cool. Anecdotes. More anecdotes. Your anecdote defeats my anecdote any day, except my anecdote, like, the gaming sphere was like anti-woman all the way till 2010. Okay, all the way up until about 2010. It like very clear. You look very anxious. Thank you. This guy is dumb. Very. My comments are starting to look like Asmongold's. Good fun. Now I just need to start. Starting to hate Jews, and that'll be perfect. We can just make an entire channel about this. People just don't like being lied to. It's a fun word. It's a good clickbait word. Or I should stream on this channel. You know what? Let's take a few more peeks. We got some more Asmongold content we can dig through. Asmongold clips. Like, he's just
anti-Semites. What is this here?
I would now like to.
All right, I'm going to dip, actually. I'm going to cut that into a video. It's going to be fun. I love you guys.